Welcome to Broncos Weekend, presented by Ent Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Denver Broncos.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Broncos Weekend. I am your host and Denver Broncos team reporter, Elisa Hernandez. In the studio, we have Hall of Famer Steve Atwater and Denver 7's Bradey King. The Broncos turning the page to Week 10 following their loss to the Baltimore Ravens. I turn over to our amazing panelists. How do you see this team bouncing back?
Well, I see more than anything just us getting back to the basics, tackling, holding our gaps, blocking, not having penalties. We have a few things that we got to get back to the basics with.
Yeah, I like what Sean Payton said earlier this week. He said the team is responding well, so I'm going to take his word for it. They're not going to let that 31-point loss to the Ravens define them. If anything, hopefully it lit a fire under them and prepared them to take on the reigning Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs are undefeated going into Week 10, and they play the Broncos on a semi-short week after having played on Monday Night Football. This is the Broncos' third divisional game of the season and the second game on this back-to-back road trip. So on offense specifically, what are you guys looking from them as they kind of go into this matchup?
Well, they got to get the run game going. I think that Sean Payton has mentioned that several times, that the run game is super important. And if you can run the game offensively and then defensively, you're effective at stopping the run, you have a really strong chance of winning. And we have to do that. Javonte Williams, Audric Estime is back, Jaleel McLaughlin with the changeup. I think we got to make sure that we utilize those guys to the fullest.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a challenge. The Chiefs have a top 5 defense. Steve Spagnuolo knows what he's doing. Yeah. I mean, he's going to mess with rookie quarterback Bo Nix. Rookie quarterbacks are 1-11 against his defenses. So that says a lot. He's going to throw a lot at Bo. But if anybody's up for the challenge, from what I heard from Bo Nix earlier this week, he's ready. He's ready for it. He's ready to attack. I think the biggest thing is taking care of the ball, keeping it simple, not trying to do too much and letting everybody around him help him out. I think that's how the offense is hopefully going to get back on track this week.
What does it say about the Chiefs, the fact that so many of their games have been one-possession games?
Well, they're a great football team. And, when you're in that phase, you're going to have some games like that, but the majority of those games, they end up winning just because they're all on the same page. They know what they're doing. They've been together for a while. The coaching staff has been there for a while. Everything has been in their favor. And we beat them last year, and I think that the guys feel like they can do that again.
People forget we did beat them last year. We got to get a win streak rolling here. But I do think the Chiefs are tough because they're not just known for being in the one-score games. They're known for winning one-score games. And that's the difference. That's what it takes to win championships. So like you said, they've got a lot of experience. They've been playing together for a very long time. So this is a tough challenge, but I do think the Broncos have the belief and kind of the fire, if you will, to hopefully go in there and create some havoc.
Yeah,
this
the
week.
thing that stands out to me is like, they always
find a way
in those big games. I mean, Mahomes especially, I haven't seen him have many bad games. No. And so we got to count on him possibly having a good game. Yeah. We got to stop everybody else.
And they got to score. I think that's easier said than done, but the Broncos have to score. We can't go in there expecting to kind of kick field goals and kind of just try to make it happen. They have to be able to score points this week because 100%. The Chiefs are going to score. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is going to score.
Yeah, a lot of opposing teams have definitely kept it really close, and through the last 5 games for the Chiefs have been decided by one possession. And earlier this week, head coach Sean Payton and quarterback Bo Nix talked about playing their division rival on the road and the importance of keeping it a close game.
They've been in a lot of closer games this year. They've had some injuries like all of us. They're playing really, really good on defense. So we've got a ton of tape, obviously a divisional opponent on the road. We're going to have a good week, and we're going to have to play well.
We got to make it, a close game, and we got to go out there and find a way to win it. And it's just going to come down to all 3 phases of the game, both sides of the ball, just stopping them when it's critical, and then we got to score when we have a chance.
Earlier this week, head coach Sean Payton had mentioned that in order for this team to really have success, the run game has to get going. And prior to what happened in Week 9, they've been really successful at stopping the run, and that needs to kind of continue, especially when they're going against Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt, he's a great running back. He was there previously, and he's back. And he's I think, a quality running back. And we did have some troubles against Derrick Henry, and that exposed some flaws. But we have to get back to the basics. Like I said, body on body contact, making sure that we're holding our gaps, and making sure that we're physical. Because if you're not physical with the Kansas City Chiefs, they will take advantage of you. We don't want that to happen. We want our guys to go out there and play well and play with fire.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, they got to be physical, got to be aggressive, I feel like, going into there, stopping the run and getting after the quarterback as best they can.
Yeah, well, the defense has had no problem really putting pressure on the quarterback. And one of the crucial members of this Broncos defense is outside linebacker Jonathon Cooper, who signed a 4-year extension with the Broncos this week. I caught up with Cooper to talk about his long-term deal getting done and the team's upcoming Week 10 matchup. Congratulations on signing your 4-year extension with the Broncos. How exciting is it to know that you're going to be part of the future?
Super excited. Just extremely thankful, extremely grateful right now. Thank you to God, to the organization and my teammates and everybody just believing in me. And I promise it's just a start. I feel like it's just a start for me and just this team and where we're going, and we're only going to get better from here.
Why was it so important for you to remain part of Broncos country?
I love it here. I love the fans. I love the coaches. I love what we're doing. I love my teammates in the room. And that you can just sense the culture changing around here with how we're handling these games this season. And I only see it getting better from here. And, I'm just really happy that they see me a part of this future. And, I'm going to give it everything I got.
From 7th round pick to a long-term deal, how proud are you of your journey? Super proud.
It was a long journey. It was a long journey. I've been playing football since I was 6, so just a long time coming, and just proud of myself. But I know there's more work that needs to be done, and I'm just excited to get back to it.
As you guys get back to work, how do you guys look to turn the page onto Week 10 and get ready for the Chiefs?
Knowing that we had this bad taste in our mouth still from what happened, and knowing that we're a better team than what we showed, and knowing the opponent that we have with not only them being Kansas City and, their whole entire regimen there with Super Bowls and Patrick Mahomes, but a divisional opponent, and how important it is for us to get this win and to get to where we want to go to this season. And I know it's just full focus ahead, full steam ahead, and everybody still has confidence and faith in each other, and I think we're excited to get on that field again.
How do you guys look to slow down this explosive Chiefs offense coming off such a big game on Monday night?
Yeah, it all starts with 15. Got to contain him. Got to keep him in the pocket. Got to touch him. Got to get him on the ground. Got to make him feel uncomfortable. He's a winner. He's probably the highest competitor in this NFL. And yeah, when you play against somebody like that, you just respect them and respect their game, and you just have to get after him. You have to get after him. You have to give him your best shot, because you're going to get his every single time, and I know we'll be ready.
A lot of the guys on the team are really happy that Cooper was able to get that deal done. What does it mean to have him as a corner piece for what the Broncos are looking to build here in the future?
I think it means a lot, and it shows the guys that, hey, if you go out, you work hard, you put your head down, you take care of business, you can be rewarded for that. And such a great guy, too. To see him put his head down and fight to get to this point, I'm extremely happy for him.
Yeah, Coop seems to be one of those guys that hates to lose more than he loves to win, which I feel like you got to have in your locker room, right? Yeah. Most of the guys are competitive in an NFL locker room, I would imagine, but he just has that extra, oomph that I love. And like Zach Allen said, yeah, he gives these guys hope that it doesn't matter where you started, hard work pays off, like you said.
Yeah, it's one of the pieces that Pastor Ten said that he's really happy for Coop, and he is one of those guys that he is exactly what he puts on the field, and he's one of those great teammates, great leaders, and is someone they're really happy to continue to have.
Get that loan from him now.
Exactly. And it's fun fact, he actually joins 2 other members from that 2021 class, Quinn Miners and Pastor Ten II, to get extended. So
nice.
That 2021 draft class is definitely coming in clutch. All right, when we come back, Steve Atwater and Bradey King will head to our video board and break down the game of Broncos wideout Courtland Sutton. Plus, we'll have all the numbers you need to know ahead of Week 10. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay with us.
Bank better with Broncos checking from Ent Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Denver Broncos.
Each week we're only going to continue to grow, continue to find plays that we feel comfortable with, continue to find tempos that we understand, him understanding where I'm going to be, me understanding where he wants me to be. I think that's something that's going to continue to grow.
Welcome back to Broncos Weekend. That was wide receiver Courtland Sutton talking about how his growing relationship with quarterback Bo Nix is allowing him to find success. Coming into Week 10, Sutton has now recorded back-to-back 100-yard receiving games, becoming the first Bronco to do that since 2020. For more, let's check in with Hall of Famer Steve Atwater and Denver 7's Bradey King.
All right, thanks, Elisa. Steve, it's time to break down some film on the Broncos' unofficial fourth-string quarterback at this point, Courtland Sutton. He's really been doing it all the past 2 weeks. Let's get into it.
All right, this first play, the defense is going to come out. This is kind of a cover 2 look. They got 2 safeties back deep, but really they're playing cover 1, and they're playing man-to-man on Courtland Sutton. And as soon as Bo Nix sees it, he throws that ball, and when you look at it right now, there's no way he can catch this pass. But guess what? He does. He pushes off a little bit. That's what, most receivers do. They
create a little separation. Just enough.
Just to get a little bit of space there. And then he catches the ball right here on about the 43-yard line. But guess what? He gets some of those run after the catch yards. Valuable yardage.
Yeah.
Great play by Courtland Sutton. Great pass by Bo Nix. And then you'll see here, it all starts with the offensive line. The offensive line created a great little pocket there for him, and he saw it so clearly. He saw that safety go to the middle of the field, saw that he was in man-to-man coverage, and was able to deliver a beautiful pass.
Great blocking. And you mentioned getting these yards after the catch. How big is that for these receivers to be able to do that? Courtland Sutton's a big dude.
Yes, he's, 6'4", 215 pounds. Nobody wants to tackle him. The more rack yards, the better. And in any game, every single yard counts.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to show this play one more time here. Bo, tons of protection, plenty of time. I love the confidence he has to make this throw because, like you said, Court's not open.
He's not looking, and he's not looking right at the beginning. He throws that back shoulder pass where it catches the cornerback by surprise. Just great play execution.
Perfect execution by Court. All right, now our favorite play, everybody's favorite play, the only really best highlight from the game against the Ravens is this play right here.
This play is just unbelievable. I didn't expect it, especially down here in the red zone. And man, you gotta just say, all right, the timing has to be perfect because right here, tossing the ball behind the line of scrimmage on the 2-yard line, that's kind of risky.
Yeah.
But
on fourth down. This is fourth down,
right? But Courtland, man, he secures the ball, has to locate Bo Nix, and it's perfect timing because Courtland Sutton is about to get his knees taken out here from the defender, but he puts the ball right on the money. And Bo Nix, man, is this a wide receiver?
He can do it all.
It's the quarterback. He's just went up and made a circus catch, beautiful catch. And he's going to show the passion with the spike afterwards. Just, man, great execution, especially in a clutch situation.
The Ravens defended this well, too, Steve.
They did. They were right on him.
Sean said he wouldn't have ran it if he knew how well they were going to adjust to this because they thought they kind of caught him off guard. Not the case, but still, great execution by Court getting rid of the ball. And Bo, the spike, my favorite part right there.
I love it. It's a great
How
play.
many times does a quarterback get to do that?
Exactly.
Not many. So that's huge. And I have to point out, Courtland Sutton has a perfect passer rating. He's 2 for 2 on the season. We might see more of these tricky plays.
Right? You got to do more of them.
Worked out so far. I like it. Well, that's all we have on court. Elisa, we'll send it back to you with the numbers you need to know.
Thanks, guys. In Week 10, the Broncos will travel to Kansas City for their 3rd divisional game of the season. In their last meeting versus the Chiefs, the Broncos took the win in Denver. The Broncos are now 3-2 on the road and look to get a big win over their undefeated AFC West rival. Ahead of this matchup, we crunched the stats and we found the numbers you need to know. The Broncos are focused on bouncing back from their Week 9 performance with a strong outing in Week 10. Looking at the overall numbers, Denver's defense has allowed just 17.9 points per game in 2024, which is the 3rd fewest in the NFL. The defense looks to slow down the Chiefs, who scored a season-high 30 points in Week 9 behind quarterback Patrick Mahomes' season-high 3 passing touchdowns. The Chiefs lead the NFL with 6 one-possession wins in 2024, including 3 of their last 5 games. The Broncos are one of 4 AFC teams with 5+ wins since Week 3. Denver's defense has had success pressuring the quarterback overall this season. They are tied for the 2nd most sacks in 2024. In Week 9, Mahomes was sacked 4 times. The Broncos' run defense is tied for 4th in yards per carry allowed and look to return to form to stall out Chiefs running back Kareem Hunt.
Hunt is coming off an 100-plus yard game where he also notched a touchdown. Hunt leads KC with 118 touches and 465 scrimmage yards in 5 games played in 2024. This season, Nix leads the team with 4 rushing touchdowns and ranks second with 295 rush yards in 2024. Running back Javonte Williams leads Denver with 102 carries and 387 rushing yards. The Broncos offense is going up against a Chiefs defense that has allowed 17.7 points per game since 2023, which is the fewest in the NFL. Broncos wide receiver Courtland Sutton has been hitting his stride. He had back-to-back 100-yard receiving games, becoming the first Bronco to do that since 2020. In Week 9, Sutton had 7 receptions for 122 yards and now has the 10th most receptions in team history. He also had a passing touchdown to his rookie QB. Prior to Week 9, Broncos quarterback Bo Nix had 8 passing touchdowns and just 1 interception in 6 games. And in Week 10, Nix became just the 3rd quarterback with a pass touchdown, rushing touchdown, and receiving touchdown in his rookie season in NFL history. When we come back, Denver 7's Bradey King will have your fantasy focus for Week 10 and will reveal which players versus the Chiefs will call game. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Welcome back into Broncos Weekend. It is time for Fantasy Focus. After being a no-show in the stat line in Week 7, Broncos wide receiver Courtland Sutton showed out in Weeks 8 and 9. In the past 2 games, he was targeted 21 times, and he hauled in 15 of those passes for 222 yards, recording back-to-back 100-yard games. Now, despite the Broncos' Week 9 loss to the Ravens, Court had his personal best week in fantasy, putting up 23.3 points, highlighted by his touchdown pass to Bo Nix, which was the only TD of the day for Denver. The veteran wideout is currently rostered in 82% of leagues and is averaging just over 11 fantasy points per game. Court is also leading the Broncos in receiving yards with 499 and counting. Earlier, he spoke about the growing bond between QB1 Bo Nix and himself. Consistency is the key, and these two seem to be figuring it out week by week. Now, heading into Kansas City on Sunday, the Broncos will have to be aggressive against the undefeated Chiefs. That being said, fantasy experts expect Sutton to continue being a top target for Nix in Week 10. Yet, as we've mentioned, the Chiefs' defense is a huge challenge. They've allowed the 7th fewest fantasy points per game to receivers this season. But like Bo Nix said, if it were easy, everybody would do it. But it's going to take everybody on this Broncos team to go in and steal a road win against KC. We caught up with the Broncos cornerback Pat Surtain on what a win would mean for the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, that's what all the conversation about is getting the win. I mean, that's all that matters in the league. It's sort of, getting the win, obviously, against a team like the Chiefs, it'll obviously mean a lot. But, that's what the league carries on with certain teams is winning ball games, especially ball games of this pedigree. So I think it's a good opportunity for us to really showcase what we got.
This really would be a huge statement win for this defense, coming off the performance from Week 9, but to be able to knock off an undefeated team, the only undefeated team left in the NFL, what does that say, or what can that say about this team?
Well, I think it says a lot. It tells the league, and not only the league, but it tells ourselves. It tells us that, hey, we can beat anybody, anywhere, especially a champion, a Super Bowl champion, multi-Super Bowl champion, and that we have our stuff together, and it's going to take that in order to go into Kansas City and get the victory. We're going to have to be on all our P's and Q's.
Sean Payton said that this team is resilient, but there's one thing to say it and one thing to show it, and I feel like this would obviously be a huge opportunity. Yeah, go steal a win from the Chiefs, bounce back from that loss to the Ravens, and just really show what this team is made of. And so I think we're going to find out a lot about what this Broncos team.
Yeah, it's going to tell a lot about the resiliency of this team. That's what Sean Payton talked about, resiliency. You got a perfect test right here.
Well, it's really a tough matchup, right? They're on the road 3 games out of the 4 this month, and you're going against 2 teams that were in the AFC Championship last year. When you look at the mindset of how a young rookie quarterback can kind of go into this, how do you see Bo really kind of adjusting to go into these loud environments, especially in Arrowhead, and get that win?
Well, I think he has to get honed in and know the game plan. But I think also we have to get that run game going to take some pressure off of him, because if you don't have the run game and all we have to do is drop back and pass every single play, it's going to be a long day. And but I know Sean Payton knows that's the case, and we'll have a very good game plan, runs included, to help move that ball and take a little bit of that pressure off of Bo, especially in that tough environment in Kansas City.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I think they're going to be prepared. And good thing for Bo, he said his favorite environment to play in is a hostile one. So he's got the mindset. Now he's just got to have the play to back it up. But I like his mentality going into a game like this.
And it's crazy because, I mean, we can see as the season is going on, his confidence is getting higher and higher. And I can see on down the line, man, this guy is going to be a great player for us. He's going to be a guy that can go into these tough environments and come out with victory. So I'm very encouraged by his play and his growth thus far.
Yeah, I think one of the keys that Sean Payton really kind of honed in with this team this week was we cannot give up those easy touchdowns. And when we have opportunities to score, we need to score because this is the reigning Super Bowl champion. And this is someone that is going to beat you if you don't kind of put yourself in a position to get those points when you can. All right, well, it's time for my favorite part of the show, Call Game. For those new to the show, each week our amazing guests will pick a player that they think will play well against the upcoming matchup and call game. So it's week 10, and the team is headed to Kansas City to take on the only remaining undefeated team, the Chiefs. So starting with you, Steve, who do you have calling game?
Oh man, come on! I got to go with PS2, man. This is a big game, and big time players make big time plays. I would imagine he's going to be guarding DeAndre Hopkins.
D-Hop had 2 touchdowns last week.
That's fine. That's I think Pastor Tans is up looking at him like,
that's where I would jump.
That's right. So PS2 is my guy. I think he's going to come out and have an amazing game for us and help us win.
I'm going with defense as well. Jonathon Cooper, man. He's already had a
Cooper, there we go.
Four-year extension, man.
Big week, right? 5.5 sacks so far this season. I just hope that number keeps going up. You know, I think he's going to have a big week. Nothing better than sacking Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. So let's go, Coop. He was pissed off about that loss to the Ravens, so I think he's going to come out firing.
There we go. Let's get it.
Yeah, he did say he was looking at film just angry, so I know he is ready to hit the field. Well, there you have it. We will see on Sunday who calls game for Denver 7's Bradey King and Hall of Famer Steve Atwater. I am your host and team reporter, Elisa Hernandez, and this is Broncos Weekend. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.